got you a present.
This is for you.
Best dad in the world. Mummy's in a good mood, isn't she?
Oh, is that how it is? You don't seem to have a lot of public support.
Come in. Ah. Oh. Hey! Oh. Yeah.
Oh, darling, you're too wonderful. Darling, that's great. I want you to have this.
Hello.
Hey!
This is for you.
Oh, see ya.
Brilliant.
This is for you.
The king. Wait till I tell Mum about this. Have you noticed how Mummy's always smiling?
Always were a smooth one, weren't you?
Ah, hello. The armory is at your disposal. Swords inflict moderate damage quickly, the weapon of choice for an agile warrior.
That's what I'm talking about! With that catastrophic instrument of death in your hand, you could bring an end to all conflict for all time. Well, it's now a foregone conclusion that war will soon be obsolete. So my work here is done. Ta.
Welcome to the Sanctuary. The armory is at your disposal. There's a new suit in your wardrobe. Oh, I do love the pomp and pageantry of a military uniform. I could do without the associated warfare, but still, very smart look. Excellent, I salute you, metaphorically speaking. My bursitis is acting up today.
Are you so afraid to break with societal norms? You're much too nice looking. You're doing just what they want.
If business carries on like this, I'll be able to start up that trading empire I've always wanted.
My dear Katie, you're a crazy animal-loving freak and a total nutter. So there, you're sincerely
Nah.
The people are fed up, Your Majesty. What are you doing?
No!
Don't you realise what you're taking on? We're the army, you suicidal maniac!
blue funk.
Another tome for our collection. I shall enjoy reading it myself later. Oh, well done, well done. Another one. You've found over a third of all the books we need. Amazing. There are other unusually rare books the Academy would be the richer for. In fact, there's one particular book I've been trying to get my hands on for years, but the owner just wouldn't give it up. The bitter old so-and-so wouldn't even lend it to me. Anyway, it turns out he is, he's passed on. Bless his soul. Most convenient, really. Would you be so good as to get it for me? It's in his house in the Bowerstone Old Quarter. He won't miss it. What with being dead and all. It's called The Invocation of the Watchers, by the way. Ancient tome. Demonology and that. All balderdash, of course, but fascinating nonetheless. Excellent! Good for you. You are a most courageous book hunter. Well, not that there's any call for courage. Probably. As I said, the Invocation of the Watchers is in a house in the Bowerstone Old Quarter. I'm sure you'll find it with consummate ease.
I conjure thee, O thou mighty and potent Prince of Darkness, Almadiel, who wanders in the ether. I conjure thee forthwith to appear here with thy attendants, in this the witching hour of night. Stand before me in this circle, herein inscribed. Come forth in a fair and comely shape, to do my will in all things that I shall desire of you. Do not appear as the shadow. I abjure thee. Here be the seal of Almadiel, by which I command you.
By the decimal-based system of subject classification, ha! You have the invocation of the Watchers. Did it, were there... well, never mind. You're here and you brought the book. That's the important thing. You really are an amazing book collector. Which actually, when I say it out loud, doesn't sound that impressive, but still, I meant it sincerely. Always a joy to get a book. Thank you.
You might have a look in the sanctuary shop. I'm quite certain there is something new in there. That appears to be all of the gifts. A new hammer has been added to your armory. You have several new suits. Those will make dressing easy. I always said one needs to let one's hair down on occasion. I see you took that rather literally. I like what you've done with your hair. Well, that hairstyle is quite modern, isn't it? Not the usual sort of ensemble for one of your gender, but then who am I to judge? That is a good look, very much in keeping with your gender. Whatever you feel comfortable in. Reconsidered, have you? Very well. Fancy a bit of counting, do you?
Ladders have myriad uses, being of great value if one needs to assault a castle or clean the gutters. However, whatever the task at hand, the climber should take care to ensure the ladder is properly balanced and safely angled, and that a third party is present to spot the climbing. Further, this spotter should be careful to stand on the outside of the ladder, not underneath, and should ideally move quickly out of the way in the event that the climber accidentally drops a very large joiner's mallet. In retrospect, a more apt name for this treatise would have been Dangerous Things Joiner's Mallets.
Wagging his tail. Maybe he's thinking about eating crap. I was hoping you'd come round. I could use a good laugh.
Boo! Ugh. Boo! Hiss!
It's more beautiful than I dared to imagine. And heavy, too. Our experts estimate it's worth a small fortune. Of course, now the question becomes, what do you wish to do with this fine stone? Shall I deposit the money from the sale into the treasury? Or perhaps you would prefer the funds were channeled into, let us say, a more personal account? As you wish. Far be it from me to frown upon a little indiscretion. How many lives would it have saved anyway? Who can say? The Treasury's health is robust, but we must always be wary of unnecessary expenditures and watch out for possible avenues of profit. With that in mind, I would like to discuss the thorny issue of child benefits, which were abolished under your brother's rule. There are vocal elements within the community who are clamoring for us to bring it back. In the interests of the Treasury, and of the long-term welfare of the people, I have a counter-proposal. It's somewhat radical, but rather brilliant, if you don't mind me saying. We charge people for every child they have. This would keep the population low, but more importantly, the Treasury high. Is it really fair to bring new life into such an uncertain world? And won't that gold go to help the children who have already been born? Of course, you may also choose to keep Logan's policies. The matter is entirely in your hands. I'm so happy you decided to follow my suggestion. There will be less mouths to feed and more gold to stockpile. A win-win situation. If one ignores the inevitable loss of popularity. Shall we proceed with the rest of your appointments? Here is the royal agenda for the day. As you can see, you have 2 audiences in the throne room to begin. I've heard rumors that Reva's latest proposals are both scandalous and delicious. It should be most entertaining.
His Majesty, the King of Albion. This hearing concerns the future of the Bowerstone Shelter and Orphanage. Paige will speak for the disenfranchised people of the city. Reva will dispute her cause.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, the shelter has long been the only refuge for the homeless, the poor, and the orphaned. And until we can change the whole world for the better, it will continue to be their only hope of survival. Isn't it time we held out a helping hand to those who need it most? The shelter is underfunded and the building has fallen into disrepair. Invest in the shelter and orphanage, and perhaps we can begin to create a better future for Albion's forgotten people.
I could not agree more. The city and its people are in dire need. But it is not charity they require, it is love. I propose we use this dilapidated building to help both them and ourselves, for love and money have always gone hand in hand. Let us inaugurate Bowerstone's first brothel.
A brothel?
Brothel, bordello, whorehouse. The name is unimportant. What matters is that the people get the love they need, and we get their money.
Yes, it's for your Majesty to decide. Refurnish the shelter and orphanage, or convert it into a house of ill repute.
It is time Bowerstone had its first whorehouse.
The shelter shall become a brothel.
Excellent, Your Majesty. I will see to it immediately. And I mean immediately.
This is exploitation, Your Majesty. Your people won't be pleased.
Does your heart have a sizable hole that can be filled only with love? Do your pockets jingle with leftover gold? Then Reva Industries is pleased to present the House of Requited Affection, where money really does guarantee happiness.
Today, you will deal with a pressing environmental issue, the disposal of the city's waste. Reva will offer his proposal. A member of the Morningwood community will stand against him.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, I'm sure you will have noticed a certain aroma permeating the city of late, even more nauseating than usual. I fear it is not merely the stench of the underprivileged. Bowerstone is beginning to have a serious waste disposal issue. We require an inexpensive and efficient solution, and I believe I have hit upon one. Now, currently, part of our waste is being disposed of in the Morningwood Marsh. With very little effort, Reaver Industries could redirect all of the Bowerstone sewer system to flow directly into that region. As you know, it's a desolate place with no financial or cultural value to the kingdom. There could be little discussion as to the logic of this decision.
Hang on, this isn't right. Not right at all. We're all children of the soil. It's in our hearts, it's in our blood. It's under our fingernails. What I mean is, we're all equal when it comes to dirt, like. From dirt we come to dirt we go, yes? We who reside in Morningwood have as good a claim to being clean as anyone. And what of Morningwood itself? Its nature spirits, its woodland elves, and water fairies. Do they not deserve freedom from pollution too? Don't destroy paradise with your urban dregs, man. Channel the waste. Be one with the cycle of life. You have all these, like, factories and stuff, don't you? Turn one into a, what do you call it? One of those things, a sewage reclamation facility. Right on.
What shall you decide, Your Majesty?
Morningwood will be granted the honor of receiving the city's sewage.
The king has spoken. The waste from the city of Bowerstone shall be channeled into Morningwood.
I shall begin the flushing immediately, Your Majesty.
Oh, this is heavy. This is totally heavy. You've turned Granny Nature into your toilet bowl. But she'll fight back. You'll see. One day, in like a 1,000 years, she'll fight right back, man.
There is nothing as important as the health and hygiene of our citizens. As such, Reaver Industries is delighted to announce the opening of the Morningwood Sewer Reservoir, eliminating Bowerstone's most pungent pollution. Emptying one's bowels has never been safer, or such a pleasure.
The day is almost over, Your Majesty. Only one more appointment left. Page has requested a meeting in the old rebel headquarters. How very cloak and dagger. I wonder what she wants.
You never know when you're going to need a potion. Buy your wares here. The shop owned by one of Albion's most famous adventurers. Please, just get what you need. Remember, no refunds. Please! Oh! No!
I just sent my letter off to the company. Hopefully they'll know what to do. Here you are.
I just love it when you bring us a book. It fills my heart with joy. It does.
It's not every day a king walks into the rebel headquarters. I thought maybe you'd forgotten where it all started.
What do you want, Paige?
I don't know if you still care about your people, but since you took the throne, crime has been flourishing. You're starting to have a serious problem on your hands. There's one man in particular, Nigel Ferret. He's making this city his own. Every criminal in Bowerstone reports to him now. He's too powerful for me to deal with, and he's not easy to find. But I know how you can get to him. Good. Kid went undercover with a gang of robbers and found out their plans. They're going to strike the tavern in Bowerstone Market. If you get there in time, you can stop the raid. And at least one of those thugs must know where Ferret is holed up.
Excuse me for saying, but I'm feeling a bit ignored, and I would so appreciate someone listening to my...
If you cooperate, you won't get hurt. But if you give us any trouble, we'll kill you. Now, just so you know we mean business, I'd like one of you to give us trouble, so we can kill him as an example to the rest. Who's it gonna be then? Oh look, we have a volunteer. The king, no less. Have at him, fellas.
You won't get me with that kind of... Crimes! Things are looking really grim! It is no longer advantageous for any of us to frequent the hideout in Industrial. Presently, I shall inaugurate a new centre of operations in Bowerstone Market. You've been provided with a key which will permit access. Please endeavour to prevent its transference to an unauthorized individual.
This is about justice. It's about...
You can't ignore us forever.
The kingdom promised he would make things better. again. It does tend to obviate the entire objective of maintaining a secret hideout, if your enemies can simply infiltrate whenever they've the inclination. Lads, perform the specific services for which I employ you. Expeditiously.
Huh?
Kill him. Fast.
Throne's gonna be cold tomorrow without your arse pressed. Oh, that damn fine blood. Gotta be more careful. Right. Don't worry, mate. Think that bullet. Come on, then. Let's see if you're any good.
Don't just stand there and take it. I hate dogs, especially...
My dear Bob, you're a ruthless crook and a big booby as well. And since you are a ruthless crook, I'm not signing this letter so that I can remain anonymous. Ha ha! Yours, Arthur. Oh.
Please set me free.
Throne's gonna be cold tomorrow without your arse pressing on it.
You're supposed to be doing the whacking and smacking. Ow!
What? It just blew him away like it was nothing. This is gonna be tough. Oh!
I believe I can state with relative confidence that your efforts are in vain. Even should it transpire that you vanquish my associates, this door is completely impenetrable. In addition to which, this cell contains a secret egress through which I may abscond whenever I desire. Meanwhile, my compatriots shall brutalize your person.
Not exactly going your way, is
You haven't lost your touch. I'm surprised his men were foolish enough to fight you.
Now, truth be told, my superlative intellect notwithstanding, it would appear this is not, in fact, the specific cell I so confidently referenced earlier. The one with the secret exit has 2 beds. All right, you have prevailed, Your Majesty. I concede. However, I entreat you to entertain a certain proposal.
You have nothing to offer, Ferret. It's over.
Ah, that pronouncement is objectively devoid of merit. I happen to have on my person a substantial quantity of currency. Let me go free, and the money is yours.
As far as I'm concerned, you can stay in there and rot. But that's for the king to decide.
Good of you to demonstrate such compassion. I shan't be so ill-mannered as to outstay my welcome. Farewell!
You have made great strides, Your Majesty. Witness the glory of your treasury. Don't you just want to go swimming in all that gold? But the kingdom demands your attention once more. The time has come to make a decision on Albion's drinking laws. Under Logan's rule, our citizens are restricted in the amount of alcohol they can purchase per day. As you can imagine, this has proved a rather unpopular measure. And yet many respected members of the community think the law does not go far enough. They would like alcohol consumption wholly abolished among the commoners. They feel, rather reasonably, that it leads to improper behavior and raucous public spectacles. These concerned nobles are willing to pay handsomely for the change in policy. Meanwhile, the commoners themselves would like the restrictions completely lifted, claiming they infringe upon their freedom and their rights. You cannot please everyone, Your Majesty, but you must make a decision. When one considers the grander scheme of things, is giving up cheap ale not a small price to pay for the protection of their very lives? There's no denying that ending the drinking restrictions would be a very popular move, but there would be little to gain for the Treasury. I admit to enjoying a snifter or two from time to time, but then I am an educated individual. It is the rabble who cannot be entrusted with such a privilege. There's no denying that ending the drinking restriction... The residents of Millfields will be most pleased. They will find it money well spent, and I find it money well received. Let us move on to other matters, Your Majesty. You have a busy day in the throne room ahead. Samuel, the head of the Brightwall Academy, is ready to plead his case. I sincerely hope he isn't after a handout, though I'm sure Master Reaver will be the voice of reason, as always.
Boo! 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 Hiss!
Ladies and gentlemen, the King.
Interesting.
Today, you decide on the status of the Brightwall Academy, Your Majesty. Samuel will speak for the town and its scholars. Reaver will dispute his cause.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, it was your father who opened the doors to Albion's greatest seat of learning. Under his rule, knowledge and culture flourished, and so did the people of Brightwall. I ask only that you return to the wisdom of those days. Your brother closed the academy down, but it is in your hands to restore it.
There is no greater proponent of the arts than myself, and I celebrate knowledge in all its forms. But our people are frightened and confused. The last thing they need is knowledge. Allow them the benefit of ignorance. Let only those who are truly prepared make use of the academy. The elite of our society will pay handsomely to indulge in erudition.
But only the rich will be able to afford to learn.
Precisely. Why give wisdom away when one can charge for it?
What do you wish to do, Your Majesty?
The Brightwall Academy will be reopened as promised, but we will charge admission fees.
The Brightwall Academy shall be reopened to those who can afford its services.
If that is how it must be, very well. But I am deeply disappointed you have broken your promise.
Very good. I will make arrangements at once. Stimulate your intellect in the newly reopened Brightwall Academy. Suckle the knowledge from the land's greatest minds and avail yourself of the best library ever assembled. The reasonable enrollment fees are within reach of almost 1% of the population, so don't delay. Brightwall Academy. As long as you earn, it's the place to learn.
The court summons Page and Reaver. The matter before you today is the future of Bower Lake. Reaver will offer his proposal. Page will stand against him.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, a recent survey of Bower Lake has found that the waterbed is rich in valuable metals. Now, as amusing as it would be to make workers hold their breath as they mine these resources, I fear it would be impractical. Instead, we have no choice but to dam the river and drain the lake of all water. Once that is done, we will have a ready-made quarry, ripe for the plucking. It will be a pity to disfigure the landscape so close to my former home, but it is a sensible course of action in light of our current needs.
Bower Lake is the last piece of natural beauty remaining in Bowerstone. It belongs to our history and should be protected. Don't take it away from us. You'll be taking away part of this city's soul with it.
Oh, really?
You may not have improved the people's lives inside this city, but are you also going to destroy the one place they can find peace?
The decision is yours to make, Your Majesty.
We need the resources in Bower Lake. It will become a quarry.
The King has ruled. Bower Lake shall be drained and mined for resources.
I applaud your enterprising spirit. The lake shall be drained at once.
I fought for you, but you've turned your back on your people. Majesty.
Behold the ugliness of nature, so miserly in its gifts, its very lakeness, an affront to all good sense. Now, see it transformed into an exquisite monument to human ingenuity. Soil and rock offering up life and hope to thousands. How can one fail to be moved by such generosity? Reaver Industries proudly presents the Bower Pits.
I trust the court was not too dull today. In any case, I'm confident your final task will be most enjoyable. A loyal and wealthy member of our community has offered to make a sizable donation to our treasury. Her only request is that you go to Millfields to make the collection in person. A perfect chance to stretch your legs, Your Majesty.
Madam, I understand you want to recover what you've lost, but those woods are simply too dangerous. It would be suicide to enter them without combat experience, or training, or skill.
I don't want to enter them, I want you to!
Right. I was talking about me.
Oh, just forget it! Ah, Your Majesty, it's such an honor to have you here. If only fate hadn't conspired to make me look like a fool. I so wanted to make a contribution to the noble cause. What's the use of a priceless heirloom if we're all going to perish in who knows what frightful way? I had taken the statuette out of the family vault, ready for your visit, only for a common thief to take it in broad daylight. Can you believe it, Your Majesty? The thief ran into the woods, and naturally the soldiers are too scared to follow. Why must the uneducated be so superstitious? But you know no such fear, do you? Find the villain, Your Majesty. He has stolen more than a statue. He takes with him the future of our kingdom. Beware the woods, Your Majesty. The soldiers may be superstitious, but there's no denying dangerous beasts lurk within. Good luck. I know you will succeed.
It's time for a new kind of government. Perhaps a council of nobles like us.
Looking for the statue, Your Majesty? Follow the White Cavalry.
Right, you monster. Prepare to meet your... Oh, I'm so sorry. For a moment there, I thought you were a Belverine. Damn things are always trying to get through our defenses. We burn silver nitrate in those lamps to keep them out. Kills them pretty quick if they hang around for too long. If a lamp goes out, well, I don't like to think what might happen then. One went out just recently, but we got it lit again fast. The man responsible, this bloke Connor, got punished severely. Before he disappears into the forest, he tells us there's gonna be a reckoning. He's probably in 25 different stomachs right now. That's my reckoning.
That's what you should tell your mum
Come
when
on
you
out,
ask her to buy
everyone.
them for you.
It's safe.
She'll think you sound very mature. Now be sure to use that word twofold as well. That will really impress her. Anyway, the real point of boxing gloves is they allow you to hide large heavy metal weights which will really knock your opponent's lights out. That'll teach him.
Nah. Boo! Boo!
Boo! Hiss!
Boo! Hiss!
Boo!
Your Majesty, I've been expecting you. You've been through the village, have you? Charming hamlet. It's full of warm, wonderful people who'll give you the shirt off their back. And condemn you to death for one simple mistake. Anyone can fall asleep on watch. You exile him into this forest and call it justice. But enough about that. You're here for that statue. It's quite a remarkable thing. It did everything the legend said it would. And now I don't need it anymore. It's funny how things change. So if you want to take it back to that prig in Millfields, it's yours. Nearly free of charge. All I ask is a small favor. Destroy those silver nitrate lanterns. Then the village will get a taste of justice. The choice is yours. And it's a simple one. How simple? If you decline, my brothers will kill you. Excellent. Soon we will feast on the bodies of those betrayers. Now go. Destroy all the land.
I'm warning you! Stop now, or I'll open fire!
No! Don't kill me, please!
Got to get out of here! Run for your lives! That's terrifying!
Vengeance was sweet. A quality shared by many of my former neighbors, as it turns out. Here's what you came for. Seems the least I can do. Visit us again one day when you get the chance. You'll always be welcome here.
I love killing rich folk like you, lad. It's so... Well done, that one drew blood. Kill the damn dog.
back. Did you find the thief? Did you recover the statue?
Of course he did. He is the king, and thus infallible. If you will hand the statue to me, Your Majesty, I will endeavor to appraise it.
You found it? Oh, I can barely contain my tears. Oh, excuse me, Your Majesty. I can't let you see me this way. And please, make good use of it.
And who could begrudge you such a trinket? Did you not risk your life to recover it? I will make sure it fetches a good price, Majesty. With the fatidic attack not far away now, it is most encouraging to see the Treasury doing so well. It makes one feel safer. I have taken to sleeping beneath the gold, actually. As for today's first order of business, you may have heard about the dire situation the kingdom's economy finds itself in. Logan's policies always kept our cities on the edge of bankruptcy, and the panic caused by the fast-approaching darkness has only exacerbated the situation. I'm afraid the only way to stop this slide into ruin is to bail out Bowerstone's financial institutions. The people are looking at you to save them from economic disaster, but remember that doing so may condemn them to a much darker and bloodier fate. What shall we do, Your Majesty? A most astute and sensible choice. Financial ruin may bring much distress to your people, but the darkness brings certain death. Shall we proceed with today's agenda? Kalin, the representative for the Auroran people, has requested an audience with you. The court awaits in the throne room.
There'll be a revolution if we don't get out of here! Now!
All stand to attention. Today you must decide how much protection to grant Aurora. Kalin will offer her proposal. Riva will stand against her.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, as you know, the threat from the deserts that surrounds my city has not diminished. The darkness could fall upon us once more at any moment. Aurora is part of your kingdom now, and I ask that you grant us protection. Build a desert outpost that can warn my people should the crawler attack. It shall allow us to leave the city in time and ensure the survival of your loyal subjects.
A desert outpost? I've never heard such nonsense. What shall we do next? Erect taverns under the sea? Plant crops on mountain peaks? It is a foolhardy suggestion. Why should our valiant soldiers suffer sunstroke and chapped lips in a distant land when they could be protecting the people of this very city? Is it really worth risking the lives of all the people outside these walls for a mere alarm system? Of course not. Let us leave the funds and the soldiers where they belong, right here.
The darkness poses a threat to us all. But Aurora has already suffered more than its fair share. The final decision rests with you, Your Majesty.
An outpost would be a waste of resources. Aurora is safe enough for now.
The King's decision is final. The military presence on the streets of Aurora is deemed sufficient for the protection of its citizens.
It is heartening to see reason prevail. Bravo, Your Majesty, bravo.
We saved your life once. Now you condemn us to death? Is that your idea of fair requital?
Bring forth Sabine of the Mistpeak Dwellers. Today, you decide on the fate of Mistpeak, home of the Dwellers, Your Majesty. Sabine will speak for his people and their land. Riva will dispute his cause.
You may speak.
I come here seeking nothing but what was promised me and my people. You pledged to restore our home mountains and our right to dwell in them. We have fulfilled our end of the bargain. We have paid with our lives to sit you on that throne. Now you must fulfill your end. Undo the damage your brother did to our land, and our agreement shall be satisfied.
Your Majesty, this sounds both an unnecessary expense and an impudent demand. What value is there in a few trees languishing amongst snow and rock? This is not the time to indulge some idyllic fantasy. Those forests are a resource, and we are in dire need of resources. I propose we expand on your brother's initiative and take what nature offers so readily. Say the word, and I will transform the worthless wasteland of Mistpeak into assets we can use to defend Albion.
These hands are not yet so old or weak that I can't wring that pretty little neck of yours, Reaver.
The refined retort of a true mountain goat.
You made a promise to Sabine, but it's up to you whether you decide to honor it.
The forests of Mistpeak are too important to waste. They will make a valuable resource.
Mistpeak and its forests shall be logged to fuel the kingdom's defense efforts.
You have made an enemy for life, King. Beware a second revolution doesn't take this land before you can save it.
The forests of Mistpeak are our greatest national treasure, and now, thanks to Riva Industries, you can enjoy them too. Ships, weapons, and furniture are just some of the many wonders available to you now. Remember, nature wants us to use her.
We won't stand for this, that's for sure.
At your service, my king.
mind if I copy your haircut?
Get out of here! Treat us like this? You're just like your brother, ain't you?
You're already dead. You just don't know it yet.
Please, please.
Ooh, are you all right, my friend?
That's what you get when you take on the army.
Run away! Run away!
Oh, yes. Hack the dung-loving swine down the side.
He thinks he's some kind of hero. Shall we re-educate?
That's it. You stand in the way of the bullets while I sneak round the side.
Wind up me!
Run away! Run away!
Think of my children! Run! Run!
Another book for the Academy. How wonderful.
No, wait, please. My life. It's all I have. Let me keep it, please. Run! 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 Run!
I buy stuff.
Don't just buy from anyone. Buy from me. You can't go wrong. I don't want to die.
Come have a look.
Please.
You're sure to find something. All righty then. And good luck.
Please, don't.
Yes.
Please, just don't come back you.
High goods are the cheapest. Really they are.
Our prices are not our fault. It's all about market forces.
I beg for mercy. Please.
No, please. Please.
Oh, brilliant. I've been waiting for this for ages. Thank you.
Feel free to look around.
You delivered the package. Great. Ta muchly, me old pal.
I do hope my prices please you.
Let me dress
The
you
fibers are in a roll.
I
Please
respect certain
dive into your
delicate
body to
days.
spend
This
tantalizing
is worth
design.
coming back if you are looking for something specific.
Must get away. I cannot stand.
Your Majesty, welcome to our temple. I lament the forlorn state in which you find it. Before the darkness came, this room held our most sacred treasure. I had lost all hope of recovering it, for that would require journeying into the desert. We have lost so many people. Who among us would have the courage to face the sands now? Thank you. You will forgive me for not being more forthright. I am unaccustomed to asking rulers for their help. As for the matter in question, this chamber once housed the temple's sacred dyes. Our rituals cannot be completed without them. The dyes are made from rare flowers found throughout Aurora and the surrounding desert. Gathering them has always been a dangerous task, but when the darkness fell upon us, it became an impossible one. If you can find these flowers and bring them to me, I will begin making the dyes again, and perhaps our people can recover some of the faith they have lost. We will gladly share them with you, of course.
It is not. Any other business to attend to?